Well, I'm in the small village of Petrockstow in rural Devon. Very pretty little place I've not been to before, but you can see the thatched cottages as I walk down through the main street. Possibly in the distance you can make out the hills. There are a few cars here, of course, but there's another old cottage. And look at this one. Beautiful. Apart from the motorcycle in the front garden. And the row of thatched cottages down here. And here's the village pub, although it doesn't look very likely that it's open now. And in fact there's a for sale sign in the front. This is the pretty little Methodist chapel, built in 1933. This is the old parish church in Petrockstow. It is now disused, and recently I read in the paper that it was up for sale. It needs a lot of repairs. The roof leaks and the outside needs repointing. The church will be locked, but we'll walk around the churchyard and have a look at any of the memorials that we can read. This one to Richard Bissett, late of Stocky in Meath. That's the next parish. He died in 1898, aged 88. And then Anne Bissett beneath that. We move across. That's not quite so easy to make out the full details. Elizabeth Ann Perks, beloved daughter who departed 1860, aged 9 years. And that's still in pretty good condition, the tomb. Little 9-year-old. And that's interesting, they brought the little bit out in relief on top there. Thy will be done. And then the inscription beneath, which is not quite so easy to read. Let's go along here. There's a very clear one here. Very large lettering. Erected to the memory of Elizabeth, the wife of William Cann, late of Bury. And the 1852, aged 62 years. This one here is Harriet Beadle Powsland, 1844. This is John Ward of this parish. 1882, age 75. This one's tilting forward, but a nice clear inscription to Mary, the beloved wife of William Horswell, late of this parish. And she died in 1871, aged 53 years. Now immediately behind that is another one, a more substantial monument, and partial remains of the iron railings that were once round the outside of it. Let's go in here, I think we can get an inscription. John, the son of John and Jane Marsh. And then it says Bonifant, 13th, 1849. So once a splendid grave, with iron railings all the way around the outside. Now in a bit of disrepair, but it's 175 years old. On here to James Smale. He died in 1860, aged just 46. And his wife lived on for another 23 years, and she was 79. Well, the future of this church is unknown. As I mentioned, it's up for sale and in quite poor condition. Now, the local people are hoping to buy it as some sort of community centre, but there's not a big population in Petrockstow, so whether they can raise the money must be questionable. Now, if they don't, the future of this church is very much in doubt. There has been a church on this site since the 12th century, but this one, like so many, is a rebuilt version of that church from the Victorian era. In the higher part of the graveyard, there are a number of stones left, although clearly a lot of clearance of memorials has taken place over the years. And up at the top there you can see a couple of rows of modern graves, so still being used. This is Jonas Squire of Heel in this parish. He died the 27th of April 1841, aged 44 years. Now if I move across, a bit of a gap, one here. This reads John, son of John, and then I can't see that surname, nor can I see a date. This one's tilting forward at a bit of an angle, and it's Mary, the wife of James Smale, a yeoman of this parish. So yeoman was a landowner, a small landowner, a small farmer. Died 1826, so that's a pretty old stone. We're looking at something that's around about 200 years old. And close by is another Smale, James Smale, gent of this parish, who departed this life August the 30th, 1846, aged 66 years. And again the stone is tilting forward at quite an angle. And another nice early stone that's still readable, Elizabeth Ford, the relict, the wife of Francis Ford, late of this parish, 24th of December, Christmas Eve, 1822, aged 59. Tight in against the tree is this one to Elizabeth, the wife of Edward Jones. And some nice carving at the top there, some flowers. It's 1882, so it survived very well given its age. Another very clear inscription, Richard Lucas, 1886, aged 63, and then beneath that is Catherine Lucas, his widow, and that's 1907. Well, up in the new section, stones are obviously much more readable. Interesting script on this one. Walter Henry Bruce Young, 2006. You may be able to hear an aeroplane, small plane passing overhead. So still very much a used graveyard. Nice to see. And right over the back, Elsie Evelyn on a larger stone than most, beloved wife of Lawrence Luxton, 1936. One tucked away in the hedge here. The hedge has grown around it. Still see it though. Clara Watkins, wife of Walter Hegarden. It's an interesting name. We come down here, George Rood, 1937. Who knows, there may be some more inside the hedge there. In fact, we can see from the curbstones that there are. But they have become completely hidden. And there's a bit of one coming through here. I can see the word Robert. And a few more down there. They need to cut the hedge back to get those inscriptions. And I'll finish off by just panning round and showing you the picturesque Devon Hills. It's a very beautiful spot. It's a lovely little village. A lot of the cottages are thatched. It's a little treasure down some rather narrow country lanes. So that's my visit to Petrockstow. Till the next time.